This week we're going to highlight a very rapid planting pace of soybeans here in the U.S. We're also going to take a look at short-term weather trends moving into the last few days of May into early June. And we're also going to highlight a weakening demand picture for soybeans and soybean meal. Hi, this is Brian Basting with Advanced Trading. Let's talk about the soybean market. We moved into the very last few days of May here, and there's certainly a lot of volatility in the soybean market, although lately it's been to the downside. Let's start out looking at a planting pace that's very rapid here in the U.S. This is our map here showing state-by-state progress. Nationwide, we're at 75%. Last year at this time, we were only at 63%. And notice the 5-year average is only 54%. So looking at a very historically fast planting pace. A lot of that is west of the Mississippi River. You can see Minnesota at 97% done, for example. The eastern belt is catching up with some drier weather there. So we're, again, across the entire belt, though, a very rapid pace. Let's look at that now relative to the last few years. You can see here at 75%, we're well above the last few years. Notice just 2 years ago, in 2019, we were only at about 25% done. So really looking at a pace that's setting some records here. On average, over the next 2 weeks, you can see that we plant about 25% of the U.S. bean crop. That would put us at 100%. I don't think we're going to be 100% planted with beans the first week in June, but it certainly looks possible, weather permitting, that we'll be over 90% planted of beans by that first full week of June. Of course, at planting pace, the beans will be tied directly to the short-term weather trends. Our slides this week are courtesy of T-Storm Weather. Now we're looking here at Wednesday through Friday of this week. Now that whole green background is more of a scattered rainfall. The pink area, if you will, is the heaviest or the most widespread and concentrated rainfall. So it looks like we're going to have a front move through here midweek and last into the end of the week. Let's look at the weekend into the holiday weekend now, Saturday through Tuesday. A very cool pattern setting up here as this front moves through. The heaviest rain will be out in the west across parts of Kansas. Now we're moving to the next 7 days, May 25th through June 1st. You can see some very heavy rainfall across that western belt. Again, a lot of those areas already have the beans in the ground, however, so that'll give those beans a good drink, if you will, and get them off to a good start. And the areas that are a little bit further behind in planting as you move into that eastern corn belt are drier over the next week, so perhaps they'll be able to wrap up bean planting in those areas, or at least catch up even further here. Let's shift gears here briefly and focus on soybean and soybean meal demand trends. And we're looking first here at U.S. soybean unshipped sales. We're looking at a 5-year low now. We're really seeing Brazil dominate the export market worldwide. Fortunately, if you will, we've only got 26 million bushels left on the books to China, so there's those bushels, if you will, aren't vulnerable compared to the corn market, where there's nearly 400 million bushels on the books. But it does highlight a weak demand picture. Looking at the soybean meal export demand picture, again, looking at the lowest level here in 7 years, have to go back to the 2013-14 year. Here's the key message. The unshipped soybean meal picture and ample South American supplies really do underscore a weaker outlook for meal compared to a year ago. With the declining meal exports and evidence of weak domestic soybean offtake, some people feel that the USDA should cut its crush estimate by 10 million bushels. While that doesn't sound like a lot, when you're looking at a carryout of maybe only 120, 130, 10 million bushels is significant. Let's wrap things up now, looking briefly at the trends in November soybean futures. Again, we've seen that contract back off from its highs. It had been over $14 a bushel, of course. Now we're seeing, though, still, even with the sell-off we've seen recently, it's at the highest level since 2011. So we strongly encourage you to continue to work closely with your trusted risk management advisor to manage these volatile markets. Now, if you'd like more information, please feel free to contact us at 800-664-2321. We'll put you in contact with one of our risk management consultants. We'll be happy to visit with you at your convenience. And remember, we upload every Wednesday. Make sure to subscribe to our channel to never miss an upload. Thanks a lot. Hope you enjoy the upcoming holiday weekend.